go here.
Go, John.
Kill it. That's a teaser. That's called a teaser. We have little later in the program, we're going to have Lil Vaughn debuting this video. I just wanted to give you a little tease at the beginning so you could get acclimatized to what is coming next. Anyhow, this evening we're talking art. I'm speaking to a few people who are artists in their own way. Initially it was 5 of them, and one guy told me he has stomach virus, so he couldn't make it. And so we got 4 of them here, accomplished artists they are, I think, and some of them will dispute me on that. But before I get to the guest that I have, I need to talk to you a little bit about, I got some pictures. Today we got news that famous, grew up with his music, listening to Percy Sledge. And he passed today, I think, some reports saying 73, some saying 74, I saw one report saying 75. Whatever the age is, he's 70 plus. I mean, that covers everything, right? And Percy Sledge has made his contribution. Those of you who like his music, like myself, I'm sure that, I mean, it's a great loss, but he's been around for quite a bit. Not saying that I'm hurrying him out of the way, because I ain't want nobody hurrying me out of the way, you know, but it's you know, we have to acknowledge Percy Sledge and his contribution. I have another slide. My son is now famous. My son, and he met. He's standing here with the Governor General of Grenada. She was here recently, and there was a reception for her in Brooklyn, and Mishi and Sebastian are the names, and they met the Governor General and took this magnificent picture with her. She sort of kind of liked them up and loved them up and so excited. You know, some of you glad you met Obama. My son met the Governor General of Grenada, and he's a big celebrity in the school now as a result of going back. The 2 of them go back to school and boast that they met the Governor General of Grenada. At 10 years old, you know, 11 years old, hey, you know, big stuff, big stuff. There's, what's the other one I have? Oh, this young man from home, he's also from, oh, by the way, tonight is a Grenada night. Tonight is a Grenada night, okay, just so that you know. All right, Blood Over Belvedere. He sent me a copy of this book, and I posted online. I said, well, should I bother to read it? And quite a few people responded saying it's worth every word that's in here. One lady told me that she can't put it on at night. That's what puts her to sleep. Say, well, you need to, anyhow, you know, but anyway, Blood Over Belvedere. It's a book by, and just so that you know, Dunbar Campbell is his name. I think he's out of Texas. He used to be in the military, came here, served the country, veteran, military and all of that, and wrote a book. And I think the book has to do with the revolution and or the invasion or something to do with the uprising that took place in Grenada. I have not read a word out of it yet, but he decided to send me an autographed copy. Thank you very much. An autographed copy of Blood Over Belvedere. So I have signed by the author, Blood Over Belvedere. I have a young lady on the show that I want you to, oh, I forgot to make this thing start. Anyway, and she wants you to know that she has a fashion show coming up on the 7th of June. I need to put on my glasses. You know what I'm trying to fool here with that. Yes, 7th of June, 7 continents of fashion. Fashion show, designs by Louise, whom you will meet right about now. I think we should do that, right? Our guests tonight, 4 magnificent people, and I mean 4 magnificent people. I don't use that word for every and everybody. These are 4 wonderful human beings that I happen to have the pleasure of knowing. Solanche Roberts, or Robert, sorry, I have to say it right. Solanche, there's no S in her name, she tell me. Solanche Robert is from River Sally, St. Patrick's. Those of you who know River Sally, the good Latas, River Sally, Plains, you know, Batway. You had to pass through River Sally to go to Batway. Some of you used to go to River Sally to pay Susu, not Susu, but society, right? And right there in the junction, all of that. Solange is here, and Solange work with not just art that she's painting or working on, a beautiful piece of work right here, but she's also was in charge at one time doing public relations for Belmont Estate, and several other things that she's done over the years. She used to be a teacher. You know, she coming to New York last week. Next week, her picture is in the paper, Daily News at that too. Welcome, Solange, to Caribbean Classroom.
Thank you, John. My pleasure being here. Thank you.
Oi!
Thank you.
Far out of the stretch. All right, next to Solange, let me get out of your way. Next to Solange, beautiful young lady. When I tell you beautiful, majestic. When I tell you majestic, one of those meticulous type of personalities. Everything has a place, and there's a place for everything. She knows, and she don't, you know, they say cut no mustard. I'm talking a friend, and let me just say this, right? First time I'm going to say this publicly. When I first met her, I couldn't stand her. She was so, you know, to me, she was so nose in the air and with all kind of a hair. And I'm like, what's her problem? Ramona Candy is here. Welcome to Caribbean. But I love her today. Next to Ramona, well, I did not know that we had male artists. Truly, after John Benjamin and Hamilton, I can't think of his first name now, I thought we lost all of our Grenadian male artists, because I know we have quite a few female artists. Well, I happened to run into this dude a couple of nights ago at a gallery opening in the new Soho of Brooklyn. I call it.
That's true.
I call it the new Soho of Brooklyn. But that's what it looks like to me anyway. And I met Kennis. And Kennis tell me, yeah, I'm from Grenada. Very cool dude, very cool. and you know, relaxed, you know, voice. And then he says, I said, where in Grenada? He said, Grenville. I said, Grenville? Baptiste? I don't know many Baptistes from Grenville. But Kennis is from from Grenville, St. Andrews, Grenada. Kennis Robert.
Baptiste.
Baptiste. Why am I giving you Robert? Wait a second, is there a connection I'm making here? Unconsciously. Anyway, Kennis Baptiste is here. Welcome to Caribbean Classroom. Now,
Welcome.
the young lady that is sitting next to Kennis, we go back in time. I was a cadet when I first met her. I was in high school. And we went to Sotes to camp, and we were camping in the Anglican school. And she lived across the street from the Anglican school. What do you call it, back road over there?
Mark Lane.
Mark Lane? Okay, behind Val Adams and them house, going down the road there. Louise, I know her as Blackburn, but she tell me she's Louise Robinson Blackburn, or Blackburn Robinson, or something, some kind of combination to that effect. Welcome to Caribbean Classroom, y'all. And Louise, I should say, is a fashion designer. Who knew? We had a fashion designer coming out of Grenada. And let me just say this now, stay tuned, because we have that video that I just teased you with. I have the artist himself, one of them anyway, standing by on Skype. And so he's in Grenada right now, and we're going to be talking to him via Skype. Thank you to Michael and Joe and Renee for making this possible. So I just had to say that right now. Thank you so very much. The world of the artist, new and experienced. Challenges and experiences. The challenges that you have as a new artist, or new, when you were new, those of you who are not so new, I mean, that, you know, that you just kind of are starting out, you know, what are some of those challenges that you had to overcome and face to get to where you are today? First of all, any one of you consider yourself successful artists?
Yes.
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 Absolutely.
Yes?
Yes.
Ooh, I love it. Everybody,
Yes.
okay, okay. Anybody making money?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes? So
Yes.
I say yes, okay. But are you making plenty money?
No.
Oh, okay.
Enough to get by.
Okay, okay. But yes, let's take this on. The challenges that you have or had, or that still have, what are some of those that you encounter? Don't everybody speak at the same time.
Well, I think the challenge is basically yourself, because you ask a question, are you successful and are you making money? And many times you don't feel like you're successful when you're first starting out, but you have to get over that feeling because you are successful as long as you're working, as long as your work is visible. That's the main thing. Kennis and I were talking on the way over here. You know, it's wonderful to sell work, but you want to make sure your work is seen by many people. You don't want it to just be sold in a vacuum. You want to make sure it's seen by people, whether it sells or not, because the visibility is what makes you more successful. So I think the challenge might be just getting past your own doubt.
So meaning that I, as the artist, I'm going to, I want, like, well, there's one artist in particular. You guys would know him very well from Dominica, Mr. Gerald Wilson. And so he prices his material, he prices his work so high because he calls them his children. Yes. He doesn't have any children. Yes. So he calls his painting his children. And the wife had put a little barrier and says, no, all the rooms in the house you're occupying with your art. The bedroom is mine. Keep your art out of my bedroom. The last time I saw him, he said, forget it, that battle, she told me, forget it, John Crow. I lost that battle a long time ago. So that, do you see your art as personal possession, or is it the extension of you that you want to spread it out as much as far as possible?
I consider art priceless.
Priceless.
Yeah, and one of the problems I have right now is actually giving it a price to some people. And usually I would try to read into that person to see how much they really like the work. Then I'll really work with them. If they just want to use the piece to decorate, their walls, I tend to.
So collectors.
To kind of like fall back on that. But if it's something that, if the work really means something to them, then they'll understand the whole value behind it. So.
But how do you make that determination vis-a-vis someone who see the work, like the work, they want it, and willing to pay top dollar for it? How do you make that,
I think a lot of the time too, when you get somebody who is interested in your work, you also get that person interested in you. Oftentimes if somebody is interested in paying for a painting, they usually ask another question. What inspires you? Where are you from? Or some question to do with your background or your motivation into creating other works. And a lot of the times you get the question of, can you do something else other than what I see here? And while it is kind of hard trying to decipher, whether my art is going to go to a good home or is that person worthy of having my art, sometimes it's very easy as well. And it's kind of easy letting go your art sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But what keeps you from saying, like, I'm painting for me. I'm not painting to please John Public. My paintings are me and my design. No, in your case, Louise, you're looking to sell what you make.
Yes.
And you're designing your designs, although we have to give credit to your daughter.
Yes, she is my designer, actually, and I'm the dressmaker.
And you're the dressmaker.
Yeah.
You stitch.
What we do, we are a team. I give her my ideas,
right,
and she put it on paper for me, and then I put it together. But our problem is we need to get out of the Caribbean people. I mean, all the years I've been sewing is always for our own Caribbean people.
Okay.
But we need to get it out there into a higher level, So
do you think that so you think that going away from your community immediate, that will make a difference?
Well, it will expand.
In addition,
it will expand.
Not cut off.
Not just cutting them off, because I specialize in African way. So.
Okay.
But I do a little bit of everything.
Can you hook me up with something?
Yeah, I do dashikis,
really?
everything. Yes.
A grand booba? All right. Okay. That's.
I also specialize in bridal work. I started sewing at the tender age of 9.
So let me ask you this question. Do you consider yourself an artist or a designer? And is there a difference between the two?
I think I would consider myself a designer.
As a designer?
And I get my ideas through spiritual inspiration.
Okay.
I would go to bed at night and my brain never relaxes.
Oh God.
It's always going all night long. And then
I would want to be a husband.
I would get up 2, 3 in the morning, find some fabric, cut it out, stitch it
Some
up, and
kind of a pattern,
yeah,
something.
I just go along with.
So you have a,
In my
what is
inspiration.
that called? Drive? That's what you call that? Drive?
I guess so.
That just keep you going.
It
Keep
just
going?
keep me going.
Introduce us.
I like the challenge to, challenge whatever. Nothing is too hard for me to attack.
Okay,
You know.
there is something called wearable art, where
That's-
we can take, and Ramona, you tend to use fabric. I see you use a lot of fabric in some of, and we have slides of Ramona's work, right?
It's actually paper.
It's paper.
Oh, it's paper.
It's paper.
Wow, but it looks like fabric.
The texture, yeah.
Yeah.
But
There's a lot of when people think of paper, they think of plain white or
Right.
paper. But there's so many different types of papers. You can go into a paper store, an art paper store. There's one called New York Central, and the amount of paper they have for sale is overwhelming.
different fabric, different.
The papers are from the Middle East. The papers are from Japan. The papers are from the handmade papers. So they
Yeah.
look like fabrics, and some of them have very big textures, but they're all paper. It's all paper.
So, okay, what, and you have a lot of different mediums. I watch your work, and I did not. First of all, I did not know that you were a painter when we first met.
That's
I
right.
knew you as a dancer,
Right.
and a damn good dancer too. I mean, she used to dance with Charles Moore. Charles Moore, dancers and drummers. That's what it's called,
Yeah.
right?
Dances and Drums of Africa.
Right. With Charles Moore and Ella Moore. Well, husband and wife. Anyhow, and the son is all grown up now. By the way, wow! I just saw him there. I was like, wait a second. But that's what happens when you feed them. And but you multi-talented. I guess I could use that word. When in terms of how you move, the things that you do, what you do with your work. What makes you decide, well, I want paper here, or I want paint brush there, or I want some other texture in there?
As Louise,
Yes.
as Louise says, it's inspiration. I would call it can call it spiritual, but it's also this inspired by the things that I do in my life. You know, I was a dancer. My mother was a dressmaker, designer,
Yes.
did bridal. So there's so many things that have come into my life that inspire me. I can't tell you that I'm going to do a painting today. It's going to just be a paint. It might start out as paint, and then something comes, and I'll put some paper in. As a matter of fact, I do paintings, soul paintings, but once I see the painting sitting there, I have to add texture, and paper is a way of adding texture. So there's no rhyme or reason as to what I use, what process I use, or what technique I use, or what medium I use. It's just inspirational. If I do printmaking, that's a limited technique. So I have to be in a print studio. I have to use certain kinds of papers and inks, and that's a whole different thing. But when I'm doing my collage or painting work, it's usually just inspirational, how I feel at the moment. If I'm listening to, I could be listening to reggae, and that'll inspire me one way. I could be listening to classical music, that will inspire me another way. So it depends on my environment.
So the world of art and the world of creativity comes into
It has to. It has to. I mean, I don't know any artist who works in a vacuum. You know, you have to take
Yeah, you have
everything
to,
in your environment into consideration.
I mean, I want you to think about, well, not think about it. I know you said to me that one of your early inspirations, and I have a picture, that double screen shot of something you did as a kid when you were a baby, and then you came back later on as a established artist. Now, we're going to talk about it when you bring it up on the screen. But Kennis, what would you and how would you advise a young painter, a young artist who's trying to get out there and become like as famous as you are?
First, I would say get involved. Get involved in your community. As a young artist, don't be shy on presenting your work. Take advantage of every opportunity to show your work. That's the best way to create a following of people. And it's all about positioning too. Your work cannot sell, at home or in a studio. You have to be in the right position where people could see it.
Right.
And
But if you don't want to sell, you don't want to sell it.
But it's also good to get involved with other artists too. Find out where the closest art community is, or the best inspiration is actually from other artists as well. That keeps you motivated.
Yes.
There's so many other things you could do. Young artists, a lot of them are scared, and once you get over that fear, and once you develop the confidence, you kind of develop the confidence with your work. If you have something that's really powerful, you should support yourself.
I want to show Louise. I want to show two pieces by Louise. real live pieces. Folks, we're doing a live television show, and so we have live models in the studio who, and on your time, you know, as you look at the model, you're going to, who happens to be your daughter up front, describe to us what we're looking at and where and when somebody could wear something like this.
Well, that outfit is a two-piece. It's a embroidery lace with sequins, and it's a midriff top with a one shoulder bell sleeve with a little trail at the back. An outfit like that you can wear to a prom. You know, the young people like the skin out.
You like to put on the skin.
So an outfit like most teenagers would wear that to the prom.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So that's a teenage outfit.
Yes. No, there is style for everyone.
So no, this, you said spiritually inspired. Where is this?
Yeah, well, I specialize in prom dresses also,
Okay.
proms and pageant gowns and stuff. So from over the years with all the young teenagers coming to me, most of them come with their own ideas of what they want to wear, and I'll sit with them and always, I'm a person, I don't like do fashion, go along with what's the trend. I encourage people to wear what suits their body, and it depends on what type of function that they go into, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's also and what fits the individual body, because what fit one person won't fit the other.
So
you have to know
cut
yourself.
To fit.
Yes, I am a freehand dressmaker.
Okay.
And I measure you and cut. It's like a one-of-a-kind piece.
So you don't cut to a pattern.
No, I don't use patterns. I could, but I create my own style. So
Can we see the other outfit? As she takes her. And so now, is this fabric? That's how this fabric came.
Yeah, the fabric came embroidered. It's an embroidered.
Okay. And so you just simply put it together.
Yes.
In that form. As one arm out, one arm in. So now this other outfit here with this beautiful lady.
It's
and
orange.
And her name?
Carol.
Carol. And the young lady's name before?
Carlisa.
Carlisa. Okay, this is Carol.
Carol is wearing bell sleeves and a trumpet bottom skirt.
No, somebody with a stomach like mine, they can't wear this, right? No, let's be for real, no. Because some people have this
That's
thing about
why I
themselves.
tell you, you have to know yourself and wear what
fits you.
complements your body. You know.
So people can come to you for consultation?
Yes, I do consultations.
As well. Because not every outfit, you know, because it's nicely
Every
made
outfit
and
is not for everyone.
beautiful on Carol and so forth. I tell you, Carol has more style than what? And a fashion designer.
And I only found Carol this afternoon.
What she was in the way?
She never knew what she was wearing. We just brought a dress for her. And it
fits so
fit as though it was stitched on her, right?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. I like the applique around the knee right there.
Yeah, that's it's a bridal lace.
Oh,
it's
bridal
a
lace.
guipio lace, right?
So now this is where I say art and fashion is one and the same.
Yes.
Because when you're going to design an outfit and put in sequins
things
and
together.
lace, etc., the creativity has to be in
Because
place.
that lace comes by the yard. It's a 40-something inch lace, and I cut the borders out and trim the dress with it.
And
Yes, so I just use it as a trimming.
and that's where the artistic side comes.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now, Solanche, your creativity, you tell me that you have your creativity coming inspired, and don't paint. You have to paint no matter what time, day, night, you have to paint.
Yes. Yes. I can't stop myself. And
I don't sleep at night. My brain's always
the deep thing about me is that my painting is not inspired by money. It is inspired because of how I feel within me and how I feel as a result of my surrounding. And a lot of the time there is color, there is movement, there is music. I also sing.
Can we get on this piece right here? We have some on slides as well, but let's get on. Gil, can you give me this piece right here, close up? And so I'm looking at this as a piano. Is it a piano keyboard or is it a piece of meat?
It is some musical keys.
Oh. Like I said, it looked like a piece of meat, and it also looked like a piano keyboard.
It looked like a xylophone.
Like a xylophone?
Mm-hmm. It is a xylophone, it is a keyboard, it is a piano, it's a set of keys.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And the piece, the yellow and gray, that's the stools that they're sitting on?
Signifies birth.
Birth.
Yes.
Okay.
The
that's when
painting in itself is representative of life. Yes. And I am a true Grenadian in terms of nature. And the hibiscus in there is what I love to paint. And
yeah, I noticed.
and you would see that repeated in a lot of my paintings. It makes me feel free. It brings out what I feel inside. And I really like my color and my pattern in my paintings. Sometimes it's not intentional, but it comes out. And that is because of the free spirit that I am.
So now the hibiscus, okay. I'm trying to make the connection with the woman's head,
Yes.
the keyboard, or
Yes.
xylophone, you say, Louise?
Yes.
That's what
Right?
it looks like to
Xylophone,
me.
right? The stool underneath, they look
Yeah.
like teeth, upside down teeth, and the hibiscus. All right? Set against some kind of a abstract something back there.
The painting in itself is an abstract piece. It is a deep spiritual abstract.
Now we're
painting.
getting somewhere.
Yes.
Help me understand abstract painting from reality painting from, I don't know, whatever you help me understand.
Maybe Ramona can help me
But
explain that.
Okay,
Yes.
Okay.
To explain abstract painting.
But yeah, you do
you
abstract,
can-
right, Roberta?
I do a little abstract. I'm mostly known for my figurative work, which is realistic work. Abstract painting, I think Kennis probably does more abstract than I do.
Kennis has a piece that is all lines. Can we bring up that slide, please? The one that is all lines. Can you, because it's abstract, but it's also, no, you have a microphone, so if you whisper, they're going to hear you. This is real TV here. Can we get a slide, please, with all the lines? That's the dancer.
That's actually the painting.
Okay, this is the dancer.
Yeah, you do abstract.
Wow.
You know, I don't really consider them abstract. They're more figurative representation.
Okay. Well,
Abstract.
this is definitely like when people identify somebody with this.
Yeah.
Right?
The background is abstract, but the actual character
Image.
is a figurative image.
Here it is. Here it is.
Yeah. Well, with my work, these are actually contour drawings where my goal to capture the image is to capture it where no lines intersect. So if you follow the lines, you go through the entire image where no lines
So
intersect.
the pen never lift up from the page.
No, it's not like that. What I try to do is capture the forms. It's kind of like solving a puzzle. You capture all the key forms, and at the end of the puzzle, everything has to be connected. And at the end, you have this image that captures
Kenny,
movement.
Watch me now. So my pen is on the page right here. Head, neck, shoulder, arm extended. That's not what we're talking
it's not that complicated.
Because
It is complicated, but the process,
Is
it's not the way people interpret it.
But it looks, when I first saw it, I'm like, wow. No, are we looking at some a man dancing behind a woman?
These are just kids playing in the street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
One of the things
This is actually a sketch. What I do, I usually sketch the characters out before I make them into paintings.
Oh.
And I document all the sketches in that way.
So you see the process.
So yeah, there's a process to the work.
Progress.
Yeah.
Okay. I want us to go to because I don't want to run over time because I got we got Little Vaughn holding, right? Yes. Okay. I don't want to run over time on that because I mean he's only 18 years old and I don't want him losing his going past his bedtime. You know what I'm saying? Ramona, I want to go back to that piece I mentioned before of your early beginning, and then we I say you repainted it. That's what I interpreted when I look at the other piece like that. Can we bring up that slide with Ramona, the two slides together, the two paintings together on Ramona's thing? And I want you to kind of talk to us about that and what that process is like. And while I'm finding that slide, I just like to say that you are watching Caribbean Classroom tonight. We are live, so we will try to take a phone call or two from those of you who might be so inclined and want to talk to Ramona, want to talk to Kennis, want to talk to Solange, want to talk to Louise.